Hey, what's going on, guys? My name is Weston Boucher. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm a full-time model out of Southern California, and the goal of my channel is to bring my experience in the industry and help out you guys in any way I can when it comes to health and fitness related questions, personal style, self-improvement, travel, and beyond. Today's topic is going to be actually about self-improvement and some of the stuff I've done over the years that have helped me in terms of my morning routine and kind of getting my mental and emotional state in the zone to tackle my day. Okay, so I will say I'm not a morning person. It just seems to be a genetic thing. I don't wake up and just feel ready to take on the day right off the bat. Kind of like Walking Dead till I get to the kitchen, and the first order of business is always coffee. Comment below if you're a coffee or a tea drinker. I'd be curious to see how much that sways between my subscribers. Yeah, the next order of business is getting my headspace right. I do find that if you're not careful about it and disciplined when you wake up in the morning, you need to take inventory of your thoughts. So what I can tend to do, and you guys could probably relate, is that you start thinking of all the things you need to get done. And that is a horrible way to start off the day. And it's also horrible to grab your phone right off the bat if you're gonna do something like go on Instagram, or you're gonna just like mindlessly look through your emails when you're still in bed and you know you can't write back to them yet anyways. So what I like to do is to sit down and start to realize that right off the bat that my day is not just about what I'm gonna accomplish, that I get my headspace in a place where work is not my identity. I think that's so important, and I struggle with that still to this day. But I think what can really help, and has helped me over the years, if I'm disciplined about it every morning, is to get a basic journal and just sit down and just start writing whatever comes to mind. Like, don't make it feel like it's a task or a chore. Make it something that you can have positive associations to. Because oftentimes we don't get enough face-to-face these days with social media and everything, and I do feel like it's so therapeutic to just write down whatever comes to mind, whether it's your fears, your hopes, dreams, something you're looking forward to or working on in the moment. And to do that, I think it's great to just have like a really nice journal, something that you look at and it's like really inviting to use, and I like to make kind of like a whole experience out of it. I really love this particular journal by Beachmore Books out of London. It's so, like, for the value, it just, and the quality, nothing beats it. And it's really simple leather with the strap. It's kind of a standard classic look. And it's lined paper also, so you're not just scribbling all over. I just find that a lot of the journals for guys these days like literally look like, I don't know, they're like Bilbo Baggins's personal journal. So they are cool, but I kind of like just like this simple plain look to it. I sit down and oftentimes because I am of Christian faith, I like to just talk to God. That's something that I do too. And whatever you subscribe to, whether or not you're religious, it's all good. Just sit down and talk about things beyond the scope of just your inner circle and what you experience in your life, like the bigger picture stuff. I think that it's really therapeutic in that way for me, because I like to just act like I'm just writing to God and asking questions or voicing things I'm frustrated with, just being totally down to earth, just straight up, and just come as you are type of style. And again, you know, whatever that is for you, just take the time for whatever your worldview is or your core beliefs, and invest time into yourself and the self-reflection that'll come from that. I think it's just so healthy before you get up and you start tackling the day and hitting that task list, because when you get into work mode right off the bat when you wake up, it's a little bit a point of no return, at least for me. Oh, and I forgot to mention, while I'm journaling, I either like to have like one of those apps that are like nature sounds. It's just super calming and there's no lyrics to distract you. You can go on Spotify too, or iTunes, and find some some like spa channels and meditative stuff. Yoga, some of the yoga channels on Spotify are awesome, so check those out, because I just feel like to set the mood and get yourself into that space where you can slow down before you get too amped up on the day, it really helps to kind of like create an atmosphere. So once I've had about maybe 10 to 15 minutes of time with self-reflection, and don't feel limited by that, go as long as you can if your day can afford it and you have more time in the day. There's nothing more important in my opinion. Work can wait. You're not going to get to the end of your life and be like, oh man, I really wish I would have worked more. No, not likely. So yeah, the next thing I want to do is I actually want to start to take in information versus just like putting my thoughts out on paper. And so I grab my phone typically, I make sure it's on silent by the way this whole time so I don't get distracted by random people texting me. And then I go into my Blinkist app, which I don't know if you're familiar with this reading app. It's pretty awesome. So a lot of the problem is that like these days we have so many goals we want to hit, or we want to eat healthier, or whatever it is for maybe that month or this year, some of the resolutions you might have made. It can be so hard to sit down and find the time to read like entire books, I find. So what this app does basically is it breaks down books into more digestible summaries. So you're gonna have like the main talking points and the main things, the big takeaways, and it's awesome because you can open it up and choose audio or actually read it, which I think is nice because sometimes I may not get the time in the morning and I'll be at the gym on like the Stairmaster and I can do the audio instead of that. But I typically open it. In it you'll have like your saved area of some of the books you're reading right now, and you can kind of just breeze through a book within like 10 to 15 minutes. It's pretty amazing actually. So if you are someone who's just totally opposed to screen time and you don't want to go the digital route, I do have some of my favorite books on my Amazon shop as well if you're a die-hard hard book type of person. But what I am currently reading right now that I absolutely love so far, or I have read and highly recommend, are some of Timothy Ferriss's books. You might have already read them. The 4-Hour Workweek is amazing. I read it actually years ago, and I've revisited it multiple times because it really got me outside of the box in terms of thinking about how life is supposed to be and how work can be elevated so high, but you get to the end of your life and that's all you did, like I said. So I think it's really good for anyone to read, just to kind of get out of the box when it comes to thinking about work and how your lifestyle could change if you really, a victim to the systems that we've created and think about the demands we always put on ourselves. The other one that I think is just incredible is Mark Manson's The Subtle Art of Not Giving an F. The title is extreme. I think that's where it's got a lot of attention. At first, I didn't really take it seriously because I just thought it was like some dude with just a big opinion I didn't want to hear. I was way off. This is one of the most important books I think to read, just with this current state of like our culture and the effects it has on social media and everything and beyond. I just absolutely love this book. It'll really get you thinking outside the box also. Yet again, I have another one in here, Timothy Ferriss's Tools of Titans. This is over the years of him having a podcast and interviewing all the most successful people in every industry you can think of. And it's broken up into chapters, whether it's health and fitness or spirituality or technology or health and science. And you get this perspective of all these people he's interviewed kind of in one book. So those are some of my recommends. Oh, and the other one I just got through that was really good the other day, actually I was on the Stairmaster, is another one by Timothy Ferriss, The 4-Hour Body. Specifically the section in there about sex, I found to be super helpful. And yeah, just check that one out. You're gonna get a pretty amazing tip in there. So I know I sound pretty amped up on the Blinkist app, and it's just because like reading a whole book is really hard time-wise for me. And so this is just like the perfect solution. After teaming up with them, I realized that like I'm not the only one. There's like 8 million users, so it's obviously pretty awesome. But you don't want to miss out on being the first 100 to click the link in my description. For my specific offer of teaming up with them, you'll get a whole week of unlimited access. And then if you do want to join, you'll get 25% off the actual membership. So yeah, the whole 7-day trial is totally free, cancel at any time. So you should check that out if you are curious. Once I've kind of taken in information from there, sometimes I'll go back to my journaling just because it's stimulated a lot of thoughts and I want to write that down to revisit later. So yeah, that is basically my morning routine before I start to get into the zone with work. If you guys are interested in me doing a future video kind of about where I take it from there and how I try to do time management and be productive, because I don't know if most of you know, but in addition to you know, doing the modeling full time, I'm starting a menswear line this year. I'm actually wearing one of the pieces right now. I'm a one-man show at the moment, and that's been a lot of work. I also have a background in photography. I worked in the video game industry, and so I've had a kind of a wide range of like small chapters of dabbling in certain careers over the years. And if that's any interest to you guys, comment below, and maybe there's something else I could talk about on my channel besides the usual stuff. Well, you know, that's grooming and style and health and fitness. Just throwing that out there because I really want to bring you guys stuff that you love, and I don't want to get too redundant on some of the topics. So anyways, I probably forgot to mention something. We shall see. Hopefully I didn't leave any gray areas for you guys. Links to everything I mentioned will be in the description below. Highly suggest you try that Blinkist app. It's just awesome. It's super a time saver. I'm all about time saving if you watch any of my videos. Life is short, so I try to be really efficient with my time. Anyways, before you guys go, make sure to subscribe, as with the growth of my channel, I'll be able to bring you guys more videos each and every week. So yeah, that's it for me, guys. Hope you're all doing well. Like I said, I'll see you next time.